Hey boos, in this video, I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it.
Cause I'm a boss.
Oh, hell no!
On marriage strike, man. It ain't right, man. It ain't right what they did to Dr. Dre. It ain't right what they did with Jeff Bezos. It ain't right, man. And we refuse to stand for this. Women been getting away with this shit for too long. And never do I see it the other way on the news in Cali. When women who married to rich, married dudes and ain't rich as they, nah, we on that. We on strike, man. No more marriage, fellas. If your wife wants you to get married, say, nah, we on strike. I gotta stand with my people until they change these laws. Marriage should not have no type of way y'all can make that make sense, man. This dude gotta get his woman this money until she remarries. Come on, man.
Hi guys, it's Yoni and I'm back with another video. So in today's video, I wanted to talk about this alimony debate that is taking place on social media, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and of course, you have men crying all over social media about how another man has to pay alimony. And for me, I'm very disappointed. You have men out here blaming marriage. Imagine if I went to the bank and I blamed the bank for being broke. I blame the bank for being broke when I spent all of my money on things. I willingly blew through all of my money, but let me blame the bank because that lacks accountability. That is what we're seeing with all of these men all over social media crying about how Dr. Dre is being forced, court ordered, to pay $300K a month in alimony. And I was really disappointed in Jay Black here on YouTube. He gave commentary on this situation and it lacked accountability. Once again, we have black men within the community refusing to hold other black men accountable. So in today's video, I'm going to be holding Dr. Dre accountable and I'm going to be sharing with you information that Jay Black did not include in his commentary. So let's go ahead and get into today's video. So before I get into Dr. Dre's full breakdown, I wanted to talk about Jeff Bezos because so many people, so many celebrities and just black men in general are speaking on Jeff Bezos' situation, and they're not speaking facts, they're speaking emotion. So I wanted to bring facts, receipts to the table when we speak on Jeff Bezos and his recent divorce. So I wanted to start off by saying this. Jeff Bezos' divorce was not court ordered. They mutually agreed to settle. So that means he was comfortable with his divorce settlement. And I also want to say they filed together January, and in April they had settled. A 25-year marriage, and they had mutually came to an agreement. Jeff Bezos took to his Twitter and released a statement, and he wrote, "We want to make people aware of a development in our lives. As our family and close friends know, after a long period of loving exploration and trial separation, we have decided to divorce and continue our shared lives as friends. We feel incredibly lucky to have found each other and deeply grateful for every one of the years we have been married to each other. If we had known we would separate after 25 years, we would do it all over again. We've had such a great life together as a married couple, and we also see wonderful futures ahead as parents, friends, partners in ventures and projects, and as individuals pursuing ventures and adventures. Though the labels might be different, we remain a family and we remain cherished friends. Jeff and Mackenzie. Does that sound like a man that is hurting over his divorce financially? No, it seems that he really loved his wife and maybe they simply grew apart. So to all the men that are out here with their emotional opinions, please look at the facts. He agreed to paying her $38 billion, and it's obvious that he felt like she was worthy of that. Before Dr. Dre, Nicole Young was married to Sadil Threat. They were together for a total of 3 years. Nicole Young didn't become well known or recognized until she married Dr. Dre. They wed May 25th, 1996. Before marriage with Dr. Dre, Nicole was an attorney. This video is sponsored by Embrace Pangea. I've been using Embrace Pangea for about almost 2 months now, and it keeps me fresh all day. It smells amazing, it's plant-based and all natural, it's not drying, and it's made for sensitive skin. Plus, it's easy to travel with. So if you're interested, please use my discount code. Links will be down below in my description box. Before Dre married Nicole, he was accused of being abusive to women. So I wanted to flash back to all of the women that have accused him of abuse. So I'm going to start with Terry B. Now, a lot of you guys are probably not aware of who Terry B is unless you came up during that time, but she was a white female rapper signed to Ruthless Records, which was owned by Eazy-E. She alleges that he attacked her over a diss record she released about NWA. During this time, all artists involved were releasing diss tracks. Next, we have Dee Barnes, who is an entertainment journalist. She was brutally attacked by Dr. Dre over an interview with Ice Cube after split with NWA.
So I'm sitting up here talking to Dee Barnes, trying to get my little Mac on with her and stuff. We sitting there kicking it right up against the wall, just talking. And so I'm still just talking shit, trying to get my little Mac on. And she blowing me off. And then Dre walked up. I said, "What's up, nigga?" Because I'm staggering, man, like, feeling like I'm about to throw up in the whole nine. He looked over at D. He said, "That's some fucked up shit you done, bitch." And stole on a boom. And you know how your drunk can just come down? The drunk just came down, and I'm looking and I'm saying, wait a minute, this nigga's whooping this bitch ass. So I jumps in the fight, to help D. And his bodyguard hits me in the side of my mouth here with his gun. And everybody, like the old lying bitch Rona said in the book, was Suge. It wasn't no Suge that did that. Suge wasn't even at the fucking party. It was Dre's bodyguard that did the shit. Knocked out 2 of my motherfucking teeth. And my mouth is bleeding. And then Dre had dragged her around the corner into like this bathroom stall and started kicking and stumping and punching her. And he had a big ass bodyguard. And you can see how slim I am. So I did like a little fake and scooted under the motherfucker's legs and got on top of Dre and started grabbing him, trying to choke him to get him off of her, man, when nobody even helped us, man. And I think that's when Ed Lover was managing at that time, the DJ now out here on the beat. His little bitch ass didn't do shit. None of them did nothing. They just sat up there and watched and shit. And then finally Dre got off of her and shit, so I helped her up and she staggered her to the bathroom. Her hair was all messed up. She was bleeding. She was fucked up. He fucked her up. So I took her in the bathroom, started wiping her off and stuff. And she was crying and trembling and crying. And I was sniffling because niggas had bust my nose and bust my mouth and shit like that and fucked me up too. And then I remember I had to go to Priority the next morning. And that bitch ass Dre came in. I was mad at him. I said, "Man, do you remember what you did last night?" "Not really." What you mean, not really? Motherfucker, you whooped my ass and you beat the shit out of D. He said, I remember that part. I'm sorry about that, Doug. I said, man, what the fuck you do that for, nigga? You went out. Oh, man, you remember when she did that shit on Pump It Up?
So where were you when you crossed paths with Dre? What was it, the event?
It was, a record release party for No Face and BWP, Bitches with Problems. Tupac was there, and we were all, talking trash to each other, and he was like, put your money where your mouth is, come on downstairs, I'll be downstairs, we gonna shoot this pool, and we were like, yeah, let's go, we gonna shoot pool with Tupac, let's get, you got money? I don't know, you got money? We're trying to put our money together, we'll just fake it, let's go play. And I was heading down there, and I got interrupted. Someone pulled me aside, started to conversate with me, and I was like, I'll be right there, don't start the game without me. And while I was talking to this person, Dre approached.
And what did he do? Did he say anything?
Just grabbed me.
He grabbed you?
Just grabbed me. I thought he was going to walk past me. And he just grabbed me.
Grabbed you how?
I just don't know if I wanted to elaborate now, or, I want to put everything in the book and release it, so to speak. It's no secret. They grabbed me by my hair and started slamming me up against the wall. It's a painful and traumatic experience. And then when you add celebrity into the factor, it's a constant reminder. And in my situation, there's actually reference in songs.
Eminem, other artists, yeah.
So there's always, music is around for generations. So there's a constant reminder when the song plays. And it's not that song. I'm pretty sure there's 8 other songs. 8 other songs with my name. D Barnes being slapped, which never happened. I never got slapped. Never. Ever. Never got slapped.
You said sorry to me. I feel like we as men should be apologizing to all of you.
Well, no, not you as men, so to speak, because not every man is like that. You know what I mean? Not every man is like that. You think about the women it affected, because like I said, I had young girls watching, 13, 14. So I got emails from young girls saying, you were my first experience with domestic violence.
Wow.
Yeah.
You were asking for help or crying out for help, I imagine?
No, I was too busy. I was too busy trying to survive.
Wow.
Because it was vicious. It was vicious. So I was too busy trying to survive.
How did it finally end with Dr. Dre attacking you, beating you?
Someone pulled him off me in the bathroom.
Someone finally did intervene.
Somebody finally pulled him off me in the bathroom.
In the women's bathroom?
Mm-hmm.
So it was against the wall and somehow ended up in the women's bathroom?
Yes.
Were you taken right to a hospital or?
Yeah, waited for the ambulance, not at the club. I wanted to leave the club. First, I didn't want to leave the club. Then I wanted to leave the club. But police and ambulance came and met us down the street at a hotel. To this day, I'm trying to figure out whose room we were in. So I don't know.
How long were you in the hospital, in and out, or was it overnight, or do you recall?
I do, but I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. And now, as you document, it's been documented, you filed charges?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was not the first, but I wanted to make sure I would be the last.
Next, I have Michelle. She was ex-wife to Dr. Dre, singer and songwriter. She also accused him of being physically abusive during their relationship. Let's go ahead and take a look.
But Michelle, she's gonna say something real quick.
She was happy and excited because something really was happening.
What I'm doing right now is I'll be putting out a solo album soon. It's gonna be hitting.
And when's my stuff gonna be out?
Back to what I was saying. My solo album will be out in May.
Well, I didn't get to do that second album as quick as I wanted to, which I should have. I became a mom. I started playing house thinking that it would change straight too, and it didn't. Women was all over him, and I was like, I shouldn't be getting women up out my bed. If you're gonna do it, I shouldn't be escorting them out of my house.
I just wanted to see how wild it could get. Women here and there, and it was, I was messing up, straight up.
She came from that frequency. I felt like she was reaching to hold on to what she thought and perceived as a good life, the high life,
I just thought she was super cool, you know what I mean? Super cool. She can cook her ass off, That was all I needed.
One night he came in, I guess he went out with Doc and yelling, and he came in drunk and just took off and sucked me in the ass. I honestly couldn't tell you. We couldn't have had an argument or anything because I was just waking up to. I have no idea, but that was the first time. And woke up the next morning and I kid you not, didn't have a conversation about it at all. At all. The only thing I did too was he gave me some money to go to the grocery store to buy some sunglasses. That's it.
I came up thinking that's the way it was supposed to be also. I've watched a few of my cousins get a little rough with their women. It was definitely in the family.
I just equated it to, as a child, I watched my uncle beat his wife every other day, and we got back and everything was good. So I just figured, it was normal.
Not only is Dr. Dre being confronted about his abusive past, he also has 2 daughters that have spoken out not in his favor. So I have LaTanya Young, who is Dr. Dre's second child that he had with a 14-year-old girl when he was 17 by the name of Lisa Johnson.
Now for a Daily Mail TV exclusive, a daughter's heartbreak. LaTanya Young's megawatt father is rapper and record producer Dr. Dre, but just at 5 years old, LaTanya says that Dr. Dre left her mom to raise their 3 daughters without a dad. Well, now, today, LaTanya, at 37, with kids of her own who would love to meet their grandfather, says that she hasn't seen her dad in 17 years.
My father is rapper-producer Dr. Dre. You guys know him as Dr. Dre. I know him as Andre Young.
LaTanya Young grew up in the shadow of her famous but absent father, who she hasn't seen since she was 20 years old.
How do I feel about not seeing my father for almost 17 years? I feel misplaced. I feel incomplete.
Now, 37, LaTanya wants to rekindle her relationship with her father.
My father is a family guy. I just don't understand why there's a pause when it comes to just spending quality time sincerely with your daughters. I feel like he gave up on me. He gave up on me, and I don't know why still.
LaTanya thinks Dre's estranged wife, Nicole Young, may be partially to blame.
To be told that you're nothing when you call for your father and you can't get through her. I'm never going to forget that. And she won. Because I got my father taken away from me. She's won.
Even still, LaTanya holds on to the slightest hope for the sake of her 4 kids. They've never met their grandfather, but always ask,
when can we see him? You're my father. I want you to be okay. I know he has a lot of love in his heart. Where it went, I don't know.
LaTanya tells us she recently applied to be a FedEx driver, that to keep her family afloat, and she insists that she doesn't need money from her multi-millionaire dad, Dr. Dre. She just wants a phone call.
Dr. Dre's youngest daughter, Truly Young, defends her mother against 50 Cent and men within the industry over an Instagram post. Let's go ahead and take a look to see how it started and how it ended.
50 Cent posted a screenshot of an article that mentioned Nicole requesting $2 million a month and wrote, "These bitches be crazy. How do you even ask for $2 million a month?" Truly came through into the comments section ready to tell 50 off, writing, "Coming from an ugly, washed up early 2000s rapper who filed for bankruptcy and is only envious of my family's wealth and lifestyle. Have fun spending the rest of your savings on steroids, F you." And she did not stop there. Exhibit got some serious stray bullets because he was in 50's comment section under that same post. He wrote WTF, and Truly responded to his comment writing, "Wow, Alvin, after everything my parents have done for you and your family, this is how you respond to a picture of my parents and I, and a quote calling my mom a bitch. F you." She reposted her replies to her Instagram story and then added another slide addressing the misogyny she's seen over her parents' divorce. She wrote, "The blatant misogyny and disrespect by ignorant men that's being shown is absolutely effing disgusting and vile. Calling my mother, my dad's wife, a bitch is unforgivable. You have no respect for me or my siblings, and this is extremely evident. 50, your marketing schemes are as low-life and disgusting as you are. Using a photo of my parents and I solely to gain attention for yourself exemplifies a lot of the things wrong with the world right now. You disgust me, and I can speak for women of my generation as well. You are furthering the problems. Everyone already knows that you're a dick, but you just proved it yourself."
Dr. Dre has released an apology over his treatment of women decades ago, and this was a response to some of the criticisms that he received for the movie that came out Straight Outta Compton. So, years and years ago, decades ago, there were several cases involving him physically assaulting other women. One of those women was a entertainment journalist by the name of Dee Barnes. And Dee Barnes had said that she was assaulted by him, he had punched her in the face, and also shoved her head against a wall repeatedly. He was very, very dismissive of the criticism up until now, and I want to read you part of his apology. He says, 25 years ago, I was a young man drinking too much and in over my head with no real structure in my life. However, none of this is an excuse for what I did. I've been married for 19 years, and every day I'm working to be a better man for my family, seeking guidance along the way. I'm doing everything I can so I never resemble that man again. I apologize to the women I've hurt. I deeply regret what I did and know that it has forever impacted all of our lives.
Wrote Dr. Dre's publicist.
Yeah.
Maybe it might have been a nurse.
He's totally changed. You know what changes you when $4 billion, if you get that changes you a lot. It turns you into a good person, in fact, and a good father.
It does, and I'll explain. So, to be fair to Dr. Dre, Beats was only sold for $3 billion.
Oh, I'm sorry, $3 billion.
Of which he apparently got about $800 million. He's saying that he's the first billionaire.
So he's not that good of a person then.
Right, okay. So
I thought.
Now, the reason that he's doing this now, as opposed to earlier, is twofold. One, because the movie came out, his album came out, first time in 16 years. I like how Anna paused on the movie out. Oh, right, it's Straight Outta Compton.
I don't know why I wanted to say, like, NWA or something. I don't know. It was like...
No, it's just funny that out is in the title of the movie. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so the second reason he's having to do it is because he's now a businessman, right? And so he has this giant deal with Apple, and there's a lot of money on the line. So now Apple needs him to clean it up. And so that Apple can then come out with their publicist statement saying, no, it's okay, Dr. Dre is a changed man, we accept what he wrote to the New York Times, and let's all continue to make a lot of money together, right? And that's how this whole gets whitewashed, and we all move along. Now, I don't want you to get me wrong. One, I love Dr. Dre's music. Two, I deeply respect him as a producer and a business person, okay? And so I'm not biased against Dr. Dre. If anything, I'm biased in favor of Dr. Dre, right? And it's been a long time, and that's also fair. And people do change, and this might be true, right? Now, he didn't write that, and so if he really had this like awakening where he realized, I don't want to be that man anymore. He might have come out with that 2 years ago, 3 years ago of his own volition, rather than at a moment where it affects his finances a lot.
Yeah,
right?
The timing is very convenient for him. And in the past, he has been dismissive of the criticism. And so it wasn't until now that people have been on him about it that he finally has decided to make a statement. And I also found it interesting that he apologized, and then right after he apologized, Apple also released their statement about it. Right?
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, I'm sure Apple pushed him in that direction as well.
So I would like to add more context to Dr. Dre's divorce. He had 3 known mistresses who were forcefully deposed in his divorce, which simply means they were forced to testify. This was ruled by the judge back in April. However, spousal abuse and cheating does not void a prenuptial agreement unless it states that within the agreement. In the state of California, prenuptial agreements must be in writing in order to be enforceable. Nicole Young states in documents she and Dre never had a prenuptial agreement. She later clarified that she did sign one, but Dre tore it up, which rendered it null and void. In conclusion, when you take a look at all of the black males that have chimed in on this entire situation, it really lacks accountability. Once again, here we are. The collective of black men are not holding men like Dr. Dre accountable. And I have to say men like Dr. Dre because he's an abuser. He is a terrorizer as far as when we speak on women and even children. You know, he's a deadbeat father. And you have the collective of black males not wanting to hold him accountable over money that they don't have, over money they will never see, over money they will never touch, not within their lifetime. So it's just weird how these men don't want to hold each other accountable, but then they complain about black women divesting, black women dating out. Why is that? It's very weird. And some would say, oh, Dr. Dre has changed. He's changed. He was just in the blogs a few months back because he was threatening Moniece Slaughter, and she did a Hollywood Unlocked interview. And there was a voice recording of him threatening Moniece. So it's just weird how the black male perspective, the black male collective is defending a man like this. It's bothersome because there are so many men within the black community like Dr. Dre that roam around terrorizing women and children. And that's what's so bothersome about it. It's not that Dr. Dre is a celebrity. It's not that Dr. Dre is rich. It's the simple fact that there are men just like him walking around terrorizing and being violent to women, and you don't have black men holding him accountable. And that's sad. And if you listen to the previous interviews of Dee Barnes, Missy LA, and just all the other women back in the 90s, there were so many black males around them, and not too many came to their defense. And really, none came to their defense at all. So for black women to be out here saying, oh, I'm divesting, and let me make this very clear, this is not a divestment channel. This is a channel that's in support of black women with them choosing what they feel is best for them. And when we speak on situations like this, it's almost like, do you blame them? No, you don't. And it came down to a woman of no color to walk into a courthouse to hold a black male accountable for being an abuser. How sad is that? So yeah, we're celebrating Nicole Young's win when it comes to this $300K a month in alimony, which he's ordered to pay until she remarries, which if sis is smart, she won't. So yeah, we're happy for her. Yeah, we're congratulating her. But we also understand that she's not on our side either. She's not. Because you heard what LaTanya Young had to say about her. So that's all that I have regarding this video. I also want to add this one little piece here. In what world, what delusional world do you have to live in for the collective of black males to really think a man with a violent history like Dr. Dre, who made rap songs titled like F the Police, was going to go into a courthouse room with a woman of no color and win? In what world And what delusional universe do you have to live in as a black male for you to think somehow he was gonna come out on top? So yeah, I'm over here laughing. I had to do this full breakdown, sis, because I'm reading tweets, I'm listening to commentary, and I'm like, not one black male that I listen to. I'm not saying he don't exist out here, but it definitely wasn't the majority and it wasn't the collective that held Dr. Dre accountable. So I would love your thoughts and opinions down below in my comments section. Also, give this video a thumbs up. Share it, girl. Get the word out, because no one is holding this man accountable when we speak on his current divorce situation. So comment your thoughts and opinions down below. This is Real Talk with Yoni, and I will see you guys in my next video.